good to be right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're one of those people that was saying that Sasha Banks should be drafted to Monday Night Raw, if you're one of those people that thought that Sasha Banks should have been out for 4 months, you know nothing. In my opinion, this is exactly what WWE needed to do. They needed to strike while the iron is hot with this feud. And I constantly hear people talk about how it should be done at WrestleMania. Well, you people have got to understand this. Maybe WWE had no plans for this match to happen at WrestleMania. Maybe WWE didn't want this match to happen at WrestleMania. Maybe Vince didn't want it at WrestleMania. Is he an idiot? You may think he's an idiot if he doesn't want it at WrestleMania, but in my opinion, it doesn't need to be at Mania. Hell in a Cell is the perfect pay-per-view, or hell, even Survivor Series is another good pay-per-view. In my opinion, what they are doing with this Sasha and Bayley stuff is great. I love that they're having Sasha Banks challenge for the title next week. Sasha could potentially win it next week. Sasha Banks could potentially win the Smackdown Women's Championship next week on the day of the draft. And if you people think that WWE is foolishly going to have Stephanie McMahon or whoever is in charge of the draft, do you think that WWE is going to foolishly have Sasha Banks as a member of the Monday Night Raw roster? I'm hearing people say, oh, WWE leaked that Sasha Banks is on Raw. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? WWE would never leak anything. This is WWE. They would never leak anything for a business standpoint. This is the draft. This is the draft we're talking about. They would never leak anything. They would never leak anything. Especially when it comes to the draft. But according to the masses of people that think they're know-it-alls and they know everything, apparently because WWE has Sasha Banks on the WWE shop, because apparently they've got her on Raw. Apparently they've got Sasha's name on the Raw plate on the WWE shop. That automatically makes people assume she's going to Raw. WWE forgot to change it ever since Sasha lost the title to Asuka at SummerSlam. Use your heads! Use your damn heads instead of jumping to conclusions. I am telling you, 1,000,000,000%, in words of Vince McMahon's music, there is no chance in hell that Sasha Banks is moving to Monday Night Raw. Do you want to know how you kill this rivalry? That's how you do it. Just draft Sasha Banks to Raw. That's how you kill this rivalry. There is no need to wait anymore. I'm done waiting. I'm done waiting. I'm done waiting with this feud. Pull the trigger now. I'm done waiting. I'm not waiting 4 months until WrestleMania. I'm not waiting until WrestleMania. If you people may have the fortitude to wait until WrestleMania, but then eventually you people are going to start bitching about it. Now is the time to pull the trigger. I don't give a flying toss what anybody says. You know-it-alls know nothing. I'm just sitting back enjoying listening to everybody whine and cry like a bunch of 5-year-olds because you didn't get what you wanted. This is perfect. Sasha Banks could potentially win that title next week. And if she does, that's great. Sasha Banks, when she faces Bayley, Bayley will be 2 days away from being champion for a whole year. Next week when those two face each other, Sasha has to prevent Bayley from passing that 1 year cycle. So I'm very confident that Sasha Banks could potentially win that title next week to prevent Bayley from hitting that 1 year cycle. And I think that'd be brilliant. And I think that'd be brilliant to have Sasha, stop Bayley from being champion for a year. Do I think that's going to happen? No, probably not. I think Bayley will most likely get herself disqualified. And then the rivalry will continue on until Hell in a Cell. And that's when Sasha would win the title there. But in my opinion, I'd have Sasha win next week. I'd have Bayley challenge Sasha to a Hell in a Cell match, and then I'd have Sasha retain. And that is how you close out. And that's how you close out their rivalry. People say that the Hell in a Cell should be the end game for every rivalry. Well, this is how you do it. Well, that's how you do it. You have Sasha win the title next week. You have these two face each other at Hell in a Cell, and that's how you put an end to it. This has been a 6-month-long rivalry that has been building for 6 months. All the twists and turns and the teasers of them breaking up. The double champion. To me, this is the perfect time. I'm done with everybody saying that Sasha Banks should be on Monday Night Raw, when she's not going to. You people are just upset that you're not getting what you wanted. That is the true fact, and that is why today's wrestling community is just terrible. This is why it's terrible. Because fans believe that they know what's right for business. Moving Sasha to Raw is not right for business. Sasha Banks winning the Smackdown Women's Championship and remaining on Smackdown, winning the Smackdown Women's Championship, becoming a Grand Slam champion is what's best for business. And if you disagree with me, I don't care. I don't care. It's my opinion. I'm sticking with it. You can't change my opinion, so good luck trying. I'm very, very happy that Sasha and Bayley is happening. And yeah, I just think we could very well have a new SmackDown Women's Champion next week. So yeah, in words of Bayley, screw all of you. Screw all the people that wanted Sasha Banks on Raw, and screw all the people that wanted Sasha Banks to stay off TV for 4 months. When she ripped off that neck brace, I was ready. And we all should be ready for Sasha Banks to finally become SmackDown Women's Champion. So we started off the show with Roman Reigns being crowned as the Tribal Chief, the head of the table. But Roman Reigns had an issue. And that issue was that Jey Uso did not utter those words. Roman was trying to make Jey Uso say the words that he is the Tribal Chief. And Jey Uso refused. Jimmy Uso was the one that said it. Roman respects Jimmy for saying it, but he still wanted Jey to say it. So Roman has granted Jey a rematch at Hell in a Cell for the Universal title. Now, would have I gone with The Fiend? Maybe. But to me, it made sense for this rivalry to continue. I didn't want this to be a one and done. I actually really am enjoying this feud so far. So, yeah, I really didn't want this to be a one and done. So I'm actually kind of glad that they're continuing this feud. I think Fiend and Alexa go to Raw. I think they go to Raw, in my personal opinion. So then we had Jey Uso face AJ Styles. Jey Uso walked away with the win. And as we all know, if you lose a match, I guess that means you're buried. But this is AJ Styles. There's no way you're going to bury AJ Styles. Which is kind of funny, because I find it funny that people always say the word buried. Throw it around like it's your everyday word in the world of professional wrestling. But Jey Uso won. It is what it is there. We had Otis defeat John Morrison. Who really cares? Because Otis is getting ready for his big court case with The Miz. Who cares? Sheamus beat Shorty G. I thought Shorty G... Oh. I thought I'd said I'd never say this guy's name on my channel. Well, there you go. It slipped out. Chad Gable. Sheamus beat Chad Gable. Wasn't he a heel? If I remember correctly, Chad Gable was a heel. He turned heel by joining up with King Corbin. But now all of a sudden he's not with King Corbin anymore. Now he's back babyface. Pick a side and stick with it. He's basically the new Big Show. But instead, Mini Show. I guess we could call Chad Gable Mini Show. Because he turns face and heel so many times that we just don't even know what he is anymore. Carmella was revealed as the mystery woman, which nobody was shocked there. Nobody was surprised. Carmella is an awful, awful, awful heel. She's an awful heel. She's a bum. She's a terrible wrestler as well. She's a bum. She's an awful heel. So yeah, it seems like they're re-emerging her as a heel. Because apparently she is sick and tired of dancing for the fans, being the princess for the fans. You know what? Who cares, Carmella? I didn't care. I haven't cared about you for a while. So why do I care what you think of me? You're still a bum in my book, and you always will be a bum until you improve in the ring. Matt Riddle and the Lucha House Party defeated King Corbin, Cesaro, Nakamura. Who the bloody hell cares? I don't care about the original bro. He's the barefoot bum. I just don't care. And then finally we had Sami Zayn face Jeff Hardy in an Intercontinental Championship rematch. And Sami Zayn ends up retaining the Intercontinental title. Yes, by cheating, but of course that's what a heel is supposed to do. They're supposed to cheat to win. Sami Zayn ain't a fraud. He ain't a cheater. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do as a heel. And that's cheat to win. I hate hearing fans constantly bitch about a heel doing what a heel is supposed to do. I'm sick and tired of it. People should know that's what a heel does. A heel is supposed to cheat. What? So Sami Zayn is supposed to defeat Jeff Hardy fair and square? That's not what a heel does. A heel cheats. Sami Zayn's not a fraud. He's just a clever heel. Because that's what a heel does. Cheat to win. So Sami Zayn beats Jeff Hardy. Retains the Intercontinental title. So hopefully that puts an end to that little rivalry. Time to move Sami Zayn on to somebody else. End of the line for Mr. Jeff Hardy. So anyway, that is basically your SmackDown review, guys. It's gonna be a short one. I'm not gonna ramble too long. I did my ramblings with Sasha Banks. You're all idiots. You're all idiots for thinking that Sasha is gonna be on Raw and is gonna be out for 4 months. You're just idiots. I'm sorry. And if you really are offended by me calling you guys that, then I'm just well, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. You guys have just got to learn. You guys have just got to learn to be more smarter when it comes to storytelling. But anyway, hit that thumbs up if you guys did enjoy this review. Comment your opinions down below, and I will see you all next time.